No way.
In this day and age, it's harder than ever to know where the line is when it comes to comedy. So I'm attempting to answer that question. Welcome to Crossing the Line. Over the past few decades, society has made significant strides in accepting the LGBT community. But for many, there's still a long way to go. So is joking about them still off limits? Or does equality mean being equally prone to offensive humour? Where is the line on LGBT jokes? Well, myself and a team of writers have written a set list to answer that very question. They'll be performed by another comedian to a group of everyday Australians, and I'll be watching via live feed. Let's hope the line comes out. Don't worry, the jokes will be a lot better than that. You can cut the tension with a knife.
What's the best way to start a joke about the LGBT community? By looking over your shoulder.
She smirked.
Okay. I like this.
What?
Do you get...
No, I don't get that.
Oh, hang on, no.
What do you
it just
mean, look
drops.
over your shoulder?
Yeah.
What?
I'll tell you later.
No, tell her now.
I don't get that
Next.
Tell her.
one. I'll have to think about that.
Not that funny. Sorry.
The Boston Straight Pride Parade only had 200 people show up. That's what you get for not having a gay guy on the marketing team.
See that?
You gotta laugh. Yes!
I'm
laughing.
We gotta laugh.
Are you gay?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like that one.
Let's go with
Yeah, I
that.
don't mind that one.
You like that?
Gays are pretty good at that stuff.
I'm just trying to get it.
Oh, it's not that hard to get.
The gay guy gets it.
Did you just say the gay guy gets it?
The Women's Australian Football League is trying to increase diversity in 2020. Apparently, they're going to let straight women play.
I want this guy at every family gathering.
Straight women? Are lesbians in the...
Lesbians are amazing at sport.
My niece plays in women's rugby league.
You can't win with trans women.
Oh, here we go.
First, they want you to treat them like a woman, and then they start complaining when men murder them in alleyways.
No way. No way. No.
Oh, that's not good. That's inappropriate for sure.
Oh God. Okay. Wow, that was dark.
Nothing is funny for trans women in that joke at all.
How do they complain if they're murdered?
Hey, that's a good point. Why did you ruin the joke coming out with fucking points like that?
Netflix are always trying to fill diversity quotas. Their next series is about a lesbian suicide bomber, and it's called The Box Ticker.
Oh.
Why? Oh.
Okay, yep. That's funny. Oh my God.
Loving the visual.
No, it's not that I didn't understand it. I just don't think it's funny.
Do you need a moment?
That's great.
Okay. And then go.
I don't hate transgendered people,
I can't watch this.
just the mental illness that they suffer from, because it takes perfectly healthy men and turns them into really ugly women.
Oh, that's horrible. That's really insulting.
That's a bit mean.
It's not true either.
But I do know some really ugly men that think they're women and some really ugly women that dress as men.
Still a bit insulting.
Well, and it's suggesting that being transgender is, a mental health issue. That's not the case at all. People used to say that about me when I was coming out.
Well, I'm ugly.
Well, that's true. I'll sit behind you.
Kevin sat beside you.
Hi, guys. Here again.
Yeah, that's queen.
How'd you find those jokes?
Heavy insults on any minority group, to me, is suddenly it loses any kind of humour.
Yeah.
I don't get the humour in it in the first place.
Okay, so, and before we go any further, sorry, raise your hand if you consider yourself part of the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh. I kissed a girl
Hope all them
and I
have
liked it.
Okay,
I
Katie.
have kissed a few girls.
I did.
So, Dale, we got a few laughs out of you. Yes. You liked the joke about why was there only 200 people at the Straight Pride March, because there wasn't a gay guy on the marketing team.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Those are the best parties.
And was that because it wasn't attacking gay men? It was actually just saying they're great at marketing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the kind of humour where, speaking for the first time as someone that's part of that group, I can look at that and go, yeah, there's a reason why that assumption exists in society. My goodness, you should have seen our wedding. I didn't feel personally attacked by that. I just thought, yeah, that kind of happens. And no one's getting hurt by that, except if you get glitter in the eye,
Actually, I've got to agree with you there because the best weddings I've been to have been gay weddings.
Yeah.
Finally, the final joke. Raise your hand if you didn't think the final joke crossed the line.
I didn't get it.
The final joke was the one about the mental illness turning perfectly healthy men into ugly women.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a bit awful.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny at all.
I don't think I crossed the line.
Getting across the line.
I think across the line. People that already might be feeling vulnerable and they're already gone through a lot of bullying perhaps in their life and wondering if maybe their families rejected them for the way they are. They're people that are already struggling to deal with getting through life and then to be sort of mocked by somebody that's not even one of them. Around a community of people that aren't even like them as well. They
Or
just
something
feel,
they have no
that
control
could then make
over.
them go and maybe jump off a balcony or something. That could really...
Not even maybe, it does.
Yeah,
happens a
there you
lot.
go.
Yeah, like I know Jordan and I we've both had homophobic attacks where we've been physically, emotionally attacked. That happens to us. That happens to many people in the LGBTQI community, but it happens to trans people like 3 or 4 times as much. Like it's something that they live with. I think what we need to address is destigmatizing some of these minority groups, ourselves included, and kind of just look at each other as
Human beings.
brothers, sisters, siblings.
Equals. Or they're not educated on the topic.
Exactly.
When I was growing up in Catholic school, I didn't know what gay was. I thought it was like a swear word, and people used to call me ugly, stupid, and gay all the time, and I never knew what it was. And then, I went to my mom and I said, Mom, I'm looking at guys and not girls in a sexual way. Something's wrong with me. And then, somebody told me, do you know what gay means? And I said, no. And they said, it means you like the same sex. And I was the last person in school to find out who I was because I wasn't educated on same sex because of my background in religion and where I went to school. And that was really hard, So when people make fun of me, it's not my fault. I am who I am, and I just want to be treated with love and respect like everybody else, And I think that's what all communities are fighting for, just to be accepted by everybody.
But what I was just going to say is when comedians then start mocking any community at all, it's kind of adding fuel to the people that already think like that, and it encourages them to think like that more. So this political correctness, in a lot of ways, is actually a good thing in my mind because then it's encouraging people to think before they speak.
I think the point is that that's not comedy.
It's bad taste.
When you're talking about people that are already an oppressed minority being murdered in the streets as they are, I don't think comedy's the forum for it. If you're going to raise awareness, great, but be intentional about raising awareness. Don't make an already beaten down minority group of people a punchline for the sake of a punchline, because it's not funny.
All right, thank you, and thank you very much for sharing. I really appreciate that. And thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, the trans jokes definitely crossed the line for some of the people here. When it comes to certain topics, is comedy just not the appropriate forum? That brings us to the end of Crossing the Line. We hope you enjoyed the series. Be sure to check out the other episodes if you haven't already. Spread the word, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you for season 2.